Hey, and welcome back to another episode where today we will be diving into the world of Three Day Road by Joseph Boyden. This novel is actually a powerful and moving novel that explores the impact of the war on the lives of soldiers and their communities. If you haven't already yet, be prepared to be moved and challenged by the themes of this novel. Three Day Road is a novel that tells the story of two Cree soldiers who are Xavier and Elijah. These two soldiers fought in the World War One. The book explores the impact of war on the lives of soldiers and their communities, which is a powerful and moving story that will stay with you for long after you finish reading it. So the book started off with Xavier and Elijah enlisting in the Canadian Army and how they left their home from the Northern Ontario to fight in Europe, and they were quickly thrown into the horrors of war. And then we see how they cope with trauma, violence that they experienced throughout the experience. And then I feel like Boyden did an excellent job in bringing the reader into the soldier's perspective. And it is actually a powerful reminder of sacrifices that soldiers make for their country. One of the most striking aspects of the book is the way Boyden portrays the lives of the Cree soldiers. He gives us a glimpse into their culture and tradition and how it clashes with the Western world, and then they find themselves in. It is a powerful reminder of the complexity of the human experiences and how war can affect different people in different ways. The novel also explores the themes of identity, displacements, and the impact of colonization on the indigenous people. And I feel like it's a powerful and thoughtful, provoking read that will change the reader's understanding of these issues. But the novel is not just about war. It is also about the relationship between Xavier and Elijah, who are two brothers that are bonded by blood but separated by their experiences. We see how the war changes them and their relationship evolves throughout the book. It is also a powerful and emotional story of brotherhood and the bonds that tie us together. The brothers' relationship is a complex one, and it's fascinating to see how it changes throughout the novel. The book is also rich in Cree's culture and language. Boyden does an excellent job, in my opinion, in cooperating Cree words and phrases throughout the novel, and it also adds a unique layer of depth to the story. It is also a powerful reminder of the importance of preserving indigenous language and cultures. The use of Cree language he used also adds a layer of authenticity to the story and makes it feel more real. The use of the Cree language also allows the reader to understand the culture of the Cree people and the way they understand the world around them. Adding on to that, I feel like exploring the impact of war on soldiers and the community in Three Day Road, it also delves into the psychological effects of the war on soldiers. Like Xavier and Elijah both struggle with the trauma of their experiences, and we see how it affects their mental health and their relationship with those around them. The novel also explores the concept of PTSD and how it was not widely understood or acknowledgeable during the time period in which the novel is set. But the novel explores the themes of guilt, redemption, and Xavier and Elijah both struggle with guilt and over things they have done during the war, and we see that throughout the novel. They must come to terms with their actions and find a way to move forward and make peace with their past. But finally, moving on to one of the last, is the novel also touches on the idea of returning soldiers and how they are not often understood and appreciated by society. Like, we see it in the novel when Xavier and Elijah both struggle to regenerate into their community and find their place in the world after their experience in their war. It was also a powerful reminder of the sacrifices soldiers make and the difficulties they face when they're returning home. And then now it's time to get to some my favorite quotes from the novel. So I'm not gonna lie, the powerful quote I feel like is one of the favorite quotes I found in the book were The world is a hard place, Elijah. It is harder for some than others, but you can't let it turn you into something you are not. So this quote was actually spoken by Xavier, and it highlights the theme of identity and how war can change a person. And it's also a reminder of how war can shape one's understanding of self and the world around them. So another one of my favorite quotes that actually stood out to me were, war is not just a matter of men fighting. It is a matter of men dying. I actually like this quote because it kind of like has a deep meaning, and it was actually spoken by Elijah, and it's supposed to like emphasize the impact of the war on human lives. It is a powerful reminder of the cost of war and the sacrifices made by soldiers, which we see a lot of that in the story. So jumping into the conclusion, I feel like Three Day Road was a powerful and moving novel that explored the impact of war on the soldiers and their communities, as well as the psychological effects of the war on soldiers. So the themes of guilt and redemption and the effects of returning soldiers re- regenerating into society, it also gives a unique perspective on the Cree culture and language. It was also a thoughtful, provoking, and emotional read that will stay with you for long after you finish reading it. And I highly recommend it to anyone interested in exploring these themes and gaining a deeper understanding of human experiences, because you learn a lot about indigenous people and the Cree culture, which I found really interesting. And thank you for listening to my podcast on the 3 Day Road. I hope you really enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the novel and theme it explores. Join us next time as we explore another great piece of literature. Until then, happy reading.